Good afternoon. We're here again at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field on the campus of Holy Cross. We're bringing you Game 9 of the Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball Playoffs between Vermont, Essex, Vermont, post 91, and Shrewsbury, post 397. This is Bob Bigda, your TV 328 sports person. The team has kind of abandoned me, so I'm all by myself. I'm going to be your play-by-play color analyst, guest commentator, and whatever else we need, I'll be it. So if I run out of gas and there's a few moments of silence, that's because I'm taking a break. Anyway, Mark Serra is joining me here. He's on camera. We'll try to get him to get a few words in, or at least grunt a couple of times when I say something stupid. Anyway, just to give you a background, Shrewsbury started the tournament off, had postponed on Wednesday night, played yesterday morning at 9 o'clock, lost a heartbreaker to Rochester, New Hampshire, 11-10. Dug themselves a hole, 6-0 in the first inning, came all the way back to tie the game at 7 in the sixth, and then Rochester got 4 runs in the top of the seventh. They came back with 3 in the bottom of the seventh, but lost a tough one, 11-10. They played again yesterday afternoon. They had like a 2-3 hour break, had to come back and play Cumberland, Rhode Island. And again, they dug themselves a hole. I believe, Mark, they got down 5-1 in the second inning. Battled back to take a 6-5 lead. Also in the second inning, the game was tied, and they ended up going on to win the game 10-7. So that's how they got here. They're in the 9th game of the tournament. If they lose, they're done. They got a pretty good uphill battle to go. They have to win today, win tomorrow, and win 1 or 2 games on Sunday to win the tournament and get back to Shelby, North Carolina for the World Series. So it'll be a tough battle. Today we have John West on the mound for Shrewsbury. 3-2 record. It's been very impressive. 16-year-old throws hard. He limits the opposing team to a 208 batting average, struck out 35 in 28 innings, so he'll be a tough one. Leading off for Shrewsbury will be Tyler Mudd, the DH. Lefty hit about 320 during the regular season, so he's a good leadoff hitter. Gets on base quite a bit. And on the mound for Vermont is George Goldsworthy, number 16. Looks like he's a pretty hard throwing righty, so Tyler Mudd is in there. To count to him is 3 balls and no strikes. As Goldsworthy's having a little hard time finding the plate. Shrewsbury knows how that works because they gave up 6 runs in the very first inning of the tournament. So it's outside and low also. So 4 pitches, Tyler Mudd draws the walk, so he heads down to first base. Stepping in for Shrewsbury is the catcher, Nick Martin. You can't even say enough about Nick. Regular season hit about 600. I didn't know how many hits he had yesterday afternoon. He was 3 for 4, 3 for 5, 4 for 5 in the first game with a double and a triple. But he just smashes the ball. First pitch is a called strike over the inside corner. Again, we're in the top of the first, no score. Shrewsbury, the visitors in this game against Essex, Vermont. Loser goes home. Winner goes on to play tomorrow afternoon in a game against the loser of the Braintree, Portland, Maine game, I believe. Tapper to first, and first baseman picks it up, steps on the bag. Tyler Mudd advances down to second. So with 1 out, there's a man on second. Brings up the heart of the order. Third batter, Matt Sullivan, right fielder. Matt's a big kid. He hits the ball well. He had 3 or 4 hits in the first game, I know. Be nice for Shrewsbury. He got on the board first here in the top of the first. There's a curveball outside and low. Ball 1 to Matt. Goldsworthy's pitch is a little too tight. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck is Louis DeVolio, the left fielder. Goldsworthy steps off. Tyler Mudd had a pretty good lead, and nobody was holding him on at second, so the pitcher stepped off. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, bell ties, 2 balls and 1 strike. Matt looks down to third base coach Frankie Vaccaro, gets the sign. There's a slow curveball and snap throw to second, hits the runner, Tyler Mudd, but no advance. First baseman comes over, picks it up. I think it was a called ball, 3 balls and 1 strike, so on the batter, Matt Sullivan. A little nicer day out than the other night when we got rained out. We had all kinds of lightning and rain. There's a pitch on the outside corner at the belt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the top of the first. There's a shot to right center. Right fielder goes over. He can't make the catch. It gets by him. Rolling all the way to the track. Tyler Mudd had to hold up to see if it was caught. He's going to score easily. Matt Sullivan is on his way to third and standing up with a triple. RBI triple for Matt Sullivan. Gets Shrewsbury on the board early. So with 1 out, it's a runner on third base, and Louis DeVolio steps in. Louis had a good year at the plate. There's a fly ball to the left, right down the line. Left fielder comes over, makes the catch. Matt Sullivan tags up and scores. Sacrifice fly for Louis DeVolio. Plates another run for Shrewsbury, and they're ahead 2-0 here in the top of the first. Looked like it was a foul ball, but he did make the catch, and heads up play by Matt Sullivan to tag up and score. So nobody on 2 outs now. Brings up Dylan Zona, and that pitch is a little bit inside, about 2 feet behind Dylan. I think Goldsworthy lost the handle on that one. Anyway, 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1 to Dylan, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan, first baseman. Oh, there's a shot to left. That's down the line. That's going to be a fair ball. It rattled around in the corner by the fence, and Dylan jogs into second base with a stand-up double. Nice shot. Hitting Goldsworthy pretty good here in the first. He got a walk, a triple, and a double for two runs. Okay, now stepping into plate is Tom Q, the shortstop. There's a shot to center. The center fielder drifts back a little bit. He's there, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the Colonials come up with 2 big runs on 2 hits. Key won a triple by Matt Sullivan for an RBI, and another double by Dylan Zona, who gets stranded. But at the end of a half an inning, to score, Shrewsbury 2, Vermont will be coming to bat. We'll be back. All right, we're back. Bottom of the first inning, Shrewsbury jumped on top quick with 2 runs in the top of the first. Vermont coming up to bat. John West on the mound for Shrewsbury, facing Tyler Ryder Thornton, the catcher for Vermont. Can't even read my own writing. Number 13, Nick Martin jogs out to the mound, go over the signals with John West, make sure they're on the same page. I don't know if John's an equipment issue or something. Maybe the ump said he had to take off something, a glove or something. Anyway, we're ready to go. Big, tall righty, John West, 6'8", 6'9". We're not exactly sure how tall he is, but he is up there. There's a fastball outside for ball 1. Throws hard, as I said, struck out 35 in 28 innings, so he's a power pitcher. There's a called strike right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike to the first batter, Ryder Thornton, catcher for Essex, Vermont. Next pitch, fastball again, a little low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a check swing tapper down toward Vermont bench for a foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the batter. Be important for John to have a good first inning, get off on a good foot, and keep that lead. There's a pitch fouled back. Count remains 2-2. Seems that Shrewsbury's been fighting, battling back every game, down 6-0, 5-1. Jumped out to a lead here, 2-0. So be nice to keep that for a little while. Anyway, ball looked like it was maybe a little bit low. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the batter. There's the pitch, and it's just outside for ball 4. So after getting ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes, John lets him off the hook, and Ryder Thornton trots down at first with the first base runner for Vermont. Now batting number 1, Grady Cram, the shortstop. There's the first pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 called. 0-1 to Grady Cram. Man at first, no outs here in the bottom of the first for Vermont. Shrewsbury on top, 2-0. There's a pitch high and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. John does walk a few guys. He walked 22 guys, 20 batters in 28 innings. So John to the set. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nice day today. A few clouds out there. Humidity is broken, I think, and much more comfortable than it's been the last few days. The throw to first gets by Dylan Zona down the right field line. Matt Sullivan hustles over, picks it up, and Ryder Thornton scampers to second. So with no outs, Essex, Vermont has a runner in scoring position. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter. Here is the set. And the pitch. Curveball is up high, a little inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And high fastball swings and misses for strike 3. So 1 away now. Man on second. Third batter strides to the plate. Number 2, Ryan Young, the second baseman. First pitch high and tight, 1 ball and no strikes. John's out there throwing hard. There's a ground ball, hard hit to second. No, diving stop by Matt Matero. Gets up and throws him out. A great play by Matt. Very good defensive play. Saved the run and also kept the runner off first base. Great play by Matt Matero at second. So there's 2 outs now. Man on third. Brings up the 4th hitter, Corey Gianelli, first baseman for Essex, Vermont. There's a nice pitch on the outside corner by John West. Gets ahead 0-1. Pitch just outside, just misses. Ball 1, strike 1. Right by him, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner broke for home. They got him in a rundown. I don't know what he was thinking. He's tagged out by Chris Wright at third base. And John is out of the inning. I don't know. That was a strange play to me. All of a sudden, there's 2 strikes on the batter. The runner on third broke for home. John stepped off, threw to the plate, and they got the runner in a rundown and eventually tagged him out. So anyway, Shrewsbury maintains that 2-0 lead after 1. We'll be back with second inning action shortly. All right, getting ready for the top of the second inning. Chris Wright's going to stride in to be the first batter. Just a quick rundown. Pete Grillo is the first base coach, ex-Shrewsbury Colonial. Frankie Vaccaro, third base coach. Also, Frank Vaccaro, the manager. His son, Matt Vaccaro, assistant coach. Jeff Svensson, Chris DeSantis, Josh Desai. First pitch by Goldsworthy's just inside. A little tight. Ball one to Chris Wright, number 44, third baseman. There's an attempted bunt. Missed. Well, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris played for the Colonials, Shrewsbury Colonials this year. Played second base primarily. Playing third base today for the Shrewsbury Post 397. There's a foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the second here to Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament. Ball high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shrewsbury lost the opener 11-10. They came back to beat Cumberland, Rhode Island 10-7 here in the third game against Essex, Vermont. Excuse me. Slow curveball in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Ground ball hard up the middle. It's going to get into center field for a base hit. Nice job of hitting by Chris Wright. Went right back up the middle with it. So we have the leadoff batter on for the second time today in 2 innings. Brings up the 8th batter, left center fielder, number 7, Tyler Hopping. There's the pitch high and up. Right outside, 1 ball, no strikes. There's a shot to center. Center fielder drifting back, a little towards left. Under it, he makes the catch, and Wright hustles back to first base. So 1 out here in the second. Tyler Hopping fly out to center. Nice batter, number 4, Matt Matero, made an excellent defensive play in the first inning, bottom of the first inning, to save a run for Shrewsbury. He steps in, 1 out, man on first. Slow curveball. Matt does a smart play and takes it in the arm and trots down to first base. So hit by a pitch, first and second. 1 man out, and brings us back to the top of the order. Tyler Mudd led off the game with a walk and scored the first Shrewsbury run. There's a little looper. Shortstop is camped under it, and he makes the play. Infield fly rule anyway, so he went out even if he dropped it. So, anyways, there's 2 down. And the guy you want to see at the plate with runners in scoring position, Nick Martin, the catcher. Had a great year. Went to Quincy Community College this past year. I think he's going to be going to Westfield State in September. Here's the first pitch. There's a shot up the middle, off the glove of the shortstop. Chris Wright's around third. He's going to score easily as the center fielder has to come in and pick it up just beyond the infield dirt. So a nice RBI single for Nick Martin. Plates another run for Shrewsbury. Now 3-0 in the top of the second. Matt Matero held up at second. So first and second with 2 outs. And Matt Sullivan steps to the plate. RBI triple in the first inning. Guess they're appealing to third base. Say the runner who scored missed third base. Steps off and they throw to third, and the third base umpire calls Chris Wright safe. So the run stays on the board. Now 3-0 Shrewsbury. Goldsworthy sets and pitches to Matt Sullivan. Slow curveball across the plate, strike 1. Runners lead, there's a set and a pitch, another curveball, outside corner, strike 2. 0-2 to Matt. Fastball outside. Matt takes it for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, if I were a betting man, I would bet it would be the slow curveball again. But you watched the first 2 pitches. That's a dangerous play. The ump called timeout as the pitcher was 3/4 the way through his motion. Pitcher held up, and that's how you get an injury sometimes. There's the pitch, and he called third strike on the inside corner, so he catches Matt Sullivan looking, but Shrewsbury gets 1 run on 2 hits and a hit batter. RBI single by Nick Martin, and at the end of an inning and a half, the score: Shrewsbury 3, Essex, Vermont, nothing. This is your TV 328 sports person. We'll be right back. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 2nd inning. Corey Gianelli steps back in. He was up at the plate when the runner on third broke for home and got caught in a rundown to end the 1st inning. First pitch is fouled off down the left field line for strike 1. John West on the mound again for Shrewsbury. Pretty good 1st inning. Walked the first batter, struck out a batter, ground out. A great play by Matt Matero, actually. He got 3rd out, and when the runner on 3rd broke for home, and they had him in a rundown. So next pitch is low, ball 1. Pitch a little bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to the batter. That one's high and tight. 3 balls and 1 strike. So again, Shrewsbury on top here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, 3-0. There's a strike on the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Oh, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I forgot about the foul balls. Caught looking Corey Gianelli. So for the first out, 2nd strikeout for John West. 1 down here in the bottom of the 2nd. Number 16 steps in, George Goldsworthy, the pitcher. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Next pitch a little high and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Fall straight back over our heads, 2 balls and 1 strike. John out there working pretty quickly. Batters are getting in the box and calling timeout so they can get set. There's a pitch high, 3 balls and 1 strike. There's a strike in the outside corner at the belt, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that ball pitch a little bit outside and high. So John throwing quite a few pitches here in the 2nd inning. Strikes out the first batter on 6 pitches. Walks the 2nd batter on 6 pitches. So we got a man at first with 1 out. 3rd baseman Maverick King steps in. Another lefty. John toss over to Dylan Zone at first. The runner gets back. Maverick King, that's a good name. I like that. Maverick. Here's the set and the pitch. There's a foul ball down the left field line. John gets ahead 0-1. I don't know if I mentioned all the coaches. I don't know if I mentioned Jeff Svensson. He's the last assistant coach. I want to give a shout out to Jeff because he gave me all the stats for the year for the Shrewsbury team. So pitch high and swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. Jan West is set. Soft toss over to first. Runner's back. Fastball high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Right outside. It's a 2-2 now, Mark. I thought I missed a. Scoreboard says 2-2, so I'll go with that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Man at first here in the bottom of the second. Essex for man at bat. And there's a pitch high and inside. It'll be runs the count full, 3-2. See if the runner takes off. Only 1 out. There's the set. And the pitch. Runner holds, and there's a foul straight back. Count remains 3-2. So again, we're game 9 here at this Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball tournament. Shrewsbury, the host team, playing Essex, Vermont. And there's a pitch high. So John walks 2 in a row. Now first and second. Can't make manager Frank Vaccaro very happy. You're up 3-0. The last thing you want to do is put men on base. There's no defense for a walk. You want to make the batters earn their bases. Put it in play. Let somebody make a play behind you, as Matt Matero did in the bottom of the first inning. Made a great diving stop on a ground ball and threw the runner out. Anyway, 7th batter up. Nicholas Fitzgerald, the right fielder. 1 out, 2 men on. Shrewsbury on top, 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. John steps off, runners get back. Batter calls timeout. Now we're ready to go. Here's the set. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Nice fastball by John West. Gets ahead 0-1. Now we got Shrewsbury on top. 3 runs on 4 hits. 1 error. There's another nice fastball. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Vermont with no runs on no hits. But they have had base runners. 3 walks so far by John West. 0-2 pitch to the batter. Oh, just a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 men on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. And right up the middle, off John West's leg, over the shortstop. It trickles into left field. Runners are going to hold. Bases loaded. It's going to go as an infield hit off of John. Hit hard off of John's, looks like his left leg, or inside his left knee. Dylan Zona walks over to talk to him. Frank Vaccaro comes out of the dugout along with Matt Vaccaro. John's walking around. Seems to be okay. It's going to go as a base hit and loads the bases with only 1 out. Probably give him a few pitches to see how it feels. Trainer comes out. Umps are out. Coaches are out. John's jumping up and down. Looks like he's going to be okay, so coaches head back to dugout. Trainer heads back. Now we got bases are loaded. 1 out. We have the 8th batter, Gordon Schmatz, the left fielder, coming to the plate. John throws a pitch, seems to be okay. He's going to throw 1 more.
You know what I like? Style.
Yeah, seems to be okay. All right, umps back in behind the plate. Batter stepping in. Gordon Schmatz steps in, left fielder. Bases loaded. Infield. There's a pitch followed straight back. Up the middle with double play, depth, second and short. Corners are in. Dylan Zona, Chris Wright at the corners are on the infield grass. Here's the 0-1 pitch, follows straight back again, 0-2. So John jumps right out ahead of him. Doesn't seem to be any ill effect to the hit off his leg, so looks like he's good to go. Here's the pitch, and the batter calls timeout. Wisely, John follows through with the pitch that didn't count, so he didn't risk hurting his arm. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball up and in. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, nice pitch on the outside corner. Called third strike. Big out for John West. Comes back and strikes out the 8th batter for the second out of the inning. Base is still loaded. Now the 9th batter, number 5, Tyler Roberge. Center fielder steps in. John 1 out away, getting out of the jam here. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled straight back. 0-1 gets ahead. John's got 3 strikeouts and 3 walks here with in the bottom of the second. So wind up in the pitch. Called strike, outside corner. A little generous, in my opinion, but I'm way up here and the ump's way down there. Okay, Nick Martin calls time. He trots out to talk to John. Certainly a key batter in this game right now. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Shrewsbury on top, 3-0. Be big to get out of this with no runs. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. High fastball. John strikes out the side, sandwiched around 2 walks and a hit off his leg. So at the end of 2, the score remains Shrewsbury 3, Essex Vermont 0. And this is your TV 328, I'll say sports team because I got Mark on the camera. I'm Bob Bigda, and we'll be back for 3rd inning action. All right, we're back for the 3rd inning. Top of the 3rd, leading off for Shrewsbury. The 4th batter, Louis DeVolio, had a sacrifice fly for played a run in the 1st inning. Foul over the stands, 3rd base line, and it's 0-1 to Louis. There's a windup in the pitch, and it's sliced foul down the left field line, 0-2. Just joining us, Shrewsbury's on top. They get 2 runs in the 1st. Key hit an RBI triple by Matt Sullivan. He also scored on a Louis DeVolio sacrifice fly. 0-2 pitches, high and inside, 1-2. Slow curveball line to first, and first baseman makes the out. So 1 up, 1 down here for Shrewsbury in the top of the 3rd. Number 11, Dylan Zona, the first baseman, steps in, had a ringing double down the left field line, couple hops off the fence. It was a pitch, that was like a 57-foot curveball. Didn't quite reach the plate. Bob Uecker would say a little bit long. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch outside. Dylan, good eye at Dylan, takes it for ball 2, 2-0. Again, alone in the dirt, 3-0. Pitch inside corner, called strike 1, 3-1. That one's too far inside, so Dylan Zona draws the walk. Trots down to first base, and shortstop Tom Q steps in flew out to right his first time up in the first inning. Anyway, the third run was played in the second inning. RBI single by by Nick Martin, scoring Chris Wright. And that's where we stand, 3-0 in the top of the third. Tom Q steps in, and the first pitch is over the middle. Bell tie, strike one, 0-1. There's a pitch, try to pick off Dylan at first. It gets by the first baseman down the right field lines. Dylan's heading around second. He's going to go to third. Here's a long throw from the right fielder to third. He's going to be out at third. Great throw. Great throw by the right fielder. One hop right to the base, and that's the only way they would have gotten Dylan. Bang, bang play at third. Dylan tried to get his hand in, and the third baseman slapped the tag on him just as he was touching the base and called out. So there's 2 outs, nobody on. Ball outside to Tom Q. 1 ball, 1 strike. The ground ball, 2-hopper to third. Third baseman has it. Long throw to first in time to get Tom Q. So a quick inning for the Shrewsbury Post, 397. No runs on no hits. And after 2.5, the score, Shrewsbury 3, Vermont nothing. We'll be back. Okay, we're back here, bottom of the third inning. Shrewsbury on top, 3-0. Vermont up at bat. First pitch by John West is called strike 1. This is top of the order for Vermont. There's a pitch fouled back, 0-2. Ryder Thornton, leadoff batter, walked in the first inning and then for some reason broke for home with 2 outs, and they got him caught in a rundown and tagged him out for the third out. So pitch is inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. John West on the mound, giving up 1 hit, comebacker off his leg that went for a hit, and he's thrown 47 pitches through 2 innings. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks. 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Pitch in the outside corner. 1 ball and 3 strikes according to the scoreboard, but I guess that was wrong. 2-2, is that what them said? I don't know, I didn't see it. Looks like 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch a little bit outside. John's throwing a lot of pitches here. Even on the batters he's getting out, he's going to full counts. There's a pitch fall back. Count remains 3-2. And there's a shot to right at Matt Sullivan in his tracks. He makes the catch for the first out in the bottom of the third. Stepping into bat is Grady Cram, the shortstop. He struck out his first time up. There's a pitch that's also hit the right at Matt Sullivan, almost in his tracks again for another. Just what John needs, get a quick out there on 1 pitch. Brings up the third batter, Ryan Young, the second baseman. Grounded out to second in the first inning, a great play by Matt Matero. Dove toward the bag at second, got up and threw him out. Here's the windup in the pitch. A little bit low and outside, 1-0. Called strike. So I think he said he went around, so 1-1. Oh, nice pitch. It's like a curveball. Called ball 2-1. Pitch fall back again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. jogs out. Two balls, two strikes, and the pitch swung on. Little slow grounder, Chris Wright at third. Bobbles it, throws him, and gets him. Nice play by Chris Wright. So 3 up, 3 down. That's 5 in a row retired by John West. We've played 3 innings here. And the score remains Shrewsbury 3 and Essex, Vermont nothing. TV 328 sports team. We'll be back with 4th inning action. Alrighty, we're back with 4th inning action here. Shrewsbury's Chris Wright steps in, hits a comebacker. Pitcher picks it up, throws it over to first, and quickly after one pitch, there's 1 out in the top of the 4th. Shrewsbury again in the losers bracket. Lost the first game 11-10. Beat Cumberland, Rhode Island yesterday in the second game. They played yesterday 10-7. Now facing Essex, Vermont. Loser will be going home. The winner is going to be playing, I believe, the loser Braintree, Portland, Maine game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Shrewsbury's going to have to win this game, win tomorrow, and win 1 or 2 on Sunday to get back to the World Series. So it's a long road ahead for them. Okay, now batting Tyler Hopping, 8th batter, flew out to center field his first time up. There's a ground ball in the hole, it's short. Shortstop picks it up, fires to first, and in the dirt, gets by the first baseman, but he retrieves it, and Tyler has to go back to first. Looks like they gave the Vermont shortstop an error on the play. It was a tough play. It was in the hole. He had a backhand and make a long throw to first to skip by the first baseman. So, well, they gave him a hit now. They changed it to a hit. So Tyler Hopping gets the base hit. He's on first with 1 out. Batter now is Matt Matero. He's hit by a pitch his first time up. First pitch is high, 1-0. See if Shrewsbury tries to run a little bit here. I think Tyler has some pretty good speed at first. He takes off. Pitch low. There's the throw to the catcher. He's in time. He gets him at second base. Nice throw by the catcher, who that Ryder Thornton threw a strike to second and got Tyler Hopping sliding in. So now there's 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 to Matt Matero, takes a slow curveball over the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. High hop, picks it up, throws a strike to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Vermont. So after 3.5, score remains Shrewsbury 3, Vermont nothing. 2 quick innings in a row. That's a rarity for this Shrewsbury team to get 1, 2, 3 innings. So anyway, we'll be back bottom of the 4th inning. Right up 2 or 3 teams in each little mini zone. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 4th inning. Vermont at bat. The 4th batter steps in, the first baseman, Corey Gianelli. He struck out looking his first time up. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. John looks pretty sharp out there. He's had a few walks in the first inning plus, but seems to have settled down now, throwing strikes. There's a ground ball, slowly hit the short. Tom Q up with it. Long throw. Nice catch and tag by Dylan Zona. Throw is off mark, but Dylan vacated the bag, jumped up, made the catch, tagged the runner as he went by for the first out in the bottom of the 4th. Okay, the pitcher George Goldsworthy steps in. Third base coach for Vermont is talking to the home plate umpire about something. Guess it's not worthy of further discussion with anybody, so back to the action. Opposing pitcher steps in, Goldsworthy takes strike 1 right down the middle. 0-1. There's a ground ball foul outside the bag at first. 0-2. That Sullivan all the way down in the corner. Retrieved it. Throws it back in. Pretty fast-moving game here. We're already in the bottom of the fourth inning with 1 out. Unlike the first couple games, it seemed to take a long time. There's a jams the batter just outside the bag at first by about 6 inches. Fielded by Dillon, but foul. So the count remains 0-2. Wind up in the pitch. There, it's slapped into left field. Nice bit of hitting by the opposing pitcher, Goldsworthy. Just went with it, got the bat on it, and served it into left field for a base hit. That's the second hit for Vermont here in the bottom of the second. The first hit was off of John West's leg. Shrewsbury 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. Vermont no runs on 2 hits and 1 error. The third baseman, Maverick King, steps in. He walked his first time up. John West with a throw over to first, runner gets back. John will be a junior at Shrewsbury High School. He's quite the basketball player as well, as you can imagine, being 6'9". Probably still growing a little bit. There's a called strike in the outside corner, 0-1 to the batter. Toss to first, runner gets back. Fastball high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, we're in the bottom of the fourth. Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball playoffs. There's a quick throw to first. Almost threw it away. Dylan Zona made a nice play. It's the third game for the host Shrewsbury team. They split, lost the first game, won the second, and are now in the third game. There's the pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And it's set in the pitch. Strike 3 called. Batter didn't think so. Says a few words to the ump, but as he heads back to the dugout for the second out. A right fielder steps in, Nicholas Fitzgerald. He got the base hit, first hit for Essex, Vermont. A hard shot off the leg of John West on the mound. 2 men on, 1 out. 1 man on, 2 outs. There's a line drive to center. Tyler Hopping goes back and makes the over-the-head catch. And the tie is retired. And after 4 innings, the score remains Shrewsbury 3 and Essex, Vermont, nothing. We'll be back. Top of the 5th inning, Tyler Mudd steps in for the Shrewsbury team. Walked and scored a run in the first and popped out to short in the second. There's a slow curveball in the dirt, ball 1, 1-0. There's a high pop-up. Looks like the center fielder's calling for it. Drifts in, gets under it, and he makes the catch. So 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Stepping in, number 3, catcher Nick Martin. RBI, well, he tapper to first in the first, and then they had an RBI single in the second.
I remember that.
takes strike one in the outside corner. 0-1. Slow curveball ripped to left. Left fielder drifting back. He's not going to get it. It's off the wall. Nick Martin rounds second, and he's going to hold up there with a stand-up double. I don't know what the left fielder was thinking about. He just drifted back slowly. Thought he might have had a beat on it, but went over his head and off the wall for a double for Nick Martin. He's just a great hitter. Just a great hitter. Hit almost 600 in the regular season. He had 3 or 4 hits the other day. 2 hits today, single and a double. Just an outstanding hitter. And a great leader on this Shrewsbury team. Anyway, Matt Sullivan steps in. He's 1 for 2. Oh, takes a pitch, hits him in the shoulder. Second hit batter for Goldsworthy, the Vermont pitcher. Now there's first and second with 1 out. Matt had an RBI triple in the first. Also scored a run. Heads to the bench, gets a drink of water before he heads to first base. Looks like he's okay. Okay, man, first and second. Martin is second, Matt Sullivan at first. Stepping in, fourth batter, Louis DeVolio. A sacrifice fly in the first, and he lined out to the first baseman in the third inning. Lefty from Holy Name High School. There's the pitch, and it's hit towards center. Center fielder is drifting in. He's under it, makes the catch. Martin tags, but decides better of it. Throw all the way to third base. So there's now 2 outs, 2 men on. Dylan Zona steps in. Had a nice double to left field, down the left field line in the first inning, and he walked in the third. Steps in with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and it's called strike 1, 0-1. Dylan will be a sophomore at Assumption College. There's a little looper in the right that's going to drop. Martin around third. He's going to try to score. Here's the throw all the way to the plate. It's in time, and they got Martin at the plate.
That's the second guy who's thrown out on the bases today.
Great throw by the right fielder. All right on a fly, right to home. Martin rounded third. It wasn't hit all that hard, but it was hit 1 hop to the right fielder, and right fielder came up and made a nice throw to home to get Martin. So at the end of 4.5, the score: Shrewsbury 3, Vermont nothing. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back for the top of the 5th inning, or bottom of the 5th inning. Shrewsbury on top 3-0 in this elimination game, the Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament. John West on the mound, so far with a gem, 2 hits. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. Gave up hit in the second and a base hit in the fourth. Other than that, a few walks, and that's been the only base runners for Vermont. Here's a hard hit ball in the hole, and it's going to get through into left field. That was Gordon Schmatz, the left fielder, leads off the bottom of the 5th with a base hit. Third hit off of West, who's thrown 73 pitches through 4 innings. Threw 49 in the first 2 and only 24 pitches over the next 2, so he's settled down. Got a leadoff single here, though, to start the bottom of the 5th. Batter now is the 9th batter, Tyler Roberge, struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. There's the pitch, runner goes, Martin's throw to second, bounces, and Tom Q can't sweep it and get the tag down, so the stolen base for Gordon Schmatz. Had a good jump. Pitch was a ball. Not a good pitch to throw down the second on, so there's nobody out. Man on second, 1-0 to the batter, 9th batter, Vermont lineup. Here's the pitch, and it's high and outside, 2-0. Got some warming action down in the bullpen for Shrewsbury. The 2-0 pitch is inside. Ball 3, 3-0.
They had had extreme heavy snow. Extreme heavy snow. Then when we're up there,
And also inside. So 4 straight pitches. He walks the 9th batter, which is not a good sign. That's his 4th walk of the game. Puts runners on first and second with nobody out. Josh Desai comes out, pitching coach. Slow walk out to the mound to give the bullpen a chance to warm up a little bit. Martin and Dylan Zona come over to talk to him. In the Declan McSweeney is in the bullpen.
Jim Peterson's a good friend of mine up there. And last time we were there, that spring,
I don't know.
the water was up to the bottom of the concession stand. That's a lot of water. Yeah.
22's Parker Brown started the first game. He goes out to the bullpen as well. So anyway, Josh has his word with John West, trying to settle him down here. 2 men on, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Leadoff batter, Ryder Thornton steps in. There's a pitch in the dirt, gets by Nick Martin, hits the plate actually. Runners advance, so now there's 2nd and 3rd with no outs. 2 men in scoring position, so a base hit will completely change the complexion of this game. Anyway, Ryder Thornton, the catcher, walked in the 1st inning and flew out to right in the 3rd. Steps back in. Here's the pitch by John West. Here's foul ball down the right field line. It's going to go into the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. 21 in the Shrewsbury bullpen. There's a ground ball hit hard to short. Big high hop. Tom Q comes home. Nice catch by Martin. Hangs on and throws him out. Nice play by Martin. I don't know why. I kind of question the play though. I would have taken the out at first. That had to be a great throw and a great catch by Martin. Works out well for the Shrewsbury team. Goes as a fielder's choice, 6-2. Get the runner at home. Now there's 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Grady Cram now the batter, the shortstop. There's a pitch outside corner, called strike 1, 0-1. Here's the set and the pitch. High and tight, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 2 men on, but after the play, Tom Q threw the runner out at home. There's now 1st and 2nd. 1 ball, 1 strike to the batter. Here's the pitch. He swings it, hits it down the left field line, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grady Cram struck out in the 1st, flew out to right in the 3rd. 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch, high fly ball to right. Matt Sullivan in his tracks, comes in, makes the catch, runners hold, and there's 2 outs. Runners hold at 1st and 2nd, so his 3rd batter, Ryan Young, the 2nd baseman, steps in. He's grounded out to 2nd. And a nice play by Matt Matero, and also grounded out to 3rd. 0 for 2 today. John West trying to wriggle out of the, actually had 2nd and 3rd with no outs. Now his 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. There's a pickoff play off the glove of Matt Matero. Tom Q picks it up at short, no advance by the runners. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Looked like a very good pitch, but called the ball by the home plate umpire. 1-0. There's a ground ball hit to short. Tom Q up with it on the 1st, and he gets the out at 1st to retire the side. So after the first 2 men get on and advance to 2nd and 3rd with no outs, John West wriggles out of it as he gets 3 in a row. And the score at the end of 5, Shrewsbury remains on top, 3-0. So your TV 328 sports team will be back with 6th inning action after this. All right, we're back for the top of the 6th inning. Tom Q steps in, the shortstop for Shrewsbury. First pitch, he hits it high, fly ball to left center. Left fielder converges. Center fielder makes the catch. And quickly after 1 pitch, 1 out in the top of the 6th. Tom had flown out to right and grounded out to third his previous 2 at-bats. Third baseman Chris Wright steps in, 1 for 2 with a run scored in the 2nd inning. Also grounded back to the pitcher. Takes strike 1 call to the inside corner. There's a ground ball to third. It gets by the third baseman. He kind of feet came out from under him when he went for it. Big turn by Chris Wright, but he holds it first with a base hit, his 2nd of the day. Third baseman looks like he got his feet tangled up a little bit as he went to go for it. He kind of, feet came out from under him and he ended up half diving and got by him down the line for a base hit. Stepping in is Tyler Hopping, center fielder, 1 for 2. Ball outside, 1-0. Tyler flew out to center and singled his last time up. There's a pitch, a hard shot to short. Shortstop can't handle it, looks around, and there's no play. Would have been probably a pretty easy double play ball had he fielded it. It was hit so hard by Tyler, but hit off his glove and it went to his feet and he couldn't find it, had no play. So now 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Number 4, 2nd baseman Matt Matero up, hit by a pitch, grounded out to short. Pitch outside, ball 1-0. Shrewsbury like to tack on a run or 2 here, give him a little bit more of a cushion. Swung on and missed, 1-1 to Matt Matero. Pitch high, there's a snap throw down to first, and Tyler Hopping gets back. 2 balls, 1 strike to Matt Matero. Goldsworthy, the Vermont pitcher, has done a pretty good job so far. Gave up 2 runs in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and settled down. Throws up zeros for the last 3 innings. A little bit of trouble here. 3-1 on the batter with 2 men on. There's the pitch. Call it strike 2. Matt had thrown the bat and started to go to first, but by the time that works against you, the umpire feels you're trying to call the game before he does. So, anyway, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch is swung on, hit up the middle slowly. Shortstop and the 2nd baseman look at each other, rolls into center field. Chris Wright comes around from 2nd to score the 4th Shrewsbury run. A base hit by Matt Matero, seeing eye version that slowly hit up the middle, and the 2 middle infielders looked at each other like the other guy was going to get it, and it went right into center field. RBI single for Matt Matero. So there's now 2 men on 1st and 2nd, and the top of the order, Tyler Mudd. He hits a fly ball to center fielder in his tracks, makes the catch, no tag, so remains 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. Stepping in, team MVP, Nick Martin, the catcher, has 2 hits today. RBI single in the 2nd and a double and scored a run in the 5th. I forgot to add that run. I keep saying 3-0. It's 4-0. Okay, ball 1 to Martin. There's the pitch. In low and outside, it's 2-0. So he scored a run. He was actually thrown out at the plate in the last inning. And a great throw by the right fielder. 3 balls and no strikes to Nick. Waggles the bat and takes strike 1, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is outside, low, ball 4. So Martin draws the walk, loads the bases with 2 outs for Matt Sullivan. Matt's 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI triple with a run scored in the first, struck out looking in the second, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Essex Vermont coach heads out to talk to Goldsworthy. I don't think he's thrown that many pitches, 50-something pitches through the last inning, so he's probably in the 70s, low 70s at this point. Home plate umpire heads out to break up the meeting. Vermont coach departs, words of wisdom for his pitcher, and Matt Sullivan steps in. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. Shrewsbury on top, 4-0. Pitch outside corner, strike 1. Matt could break the game open here with a base hit. There's the pitch, and calls strike 2. 0-2. Ooh, just missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on. High fly ball to right. Right fielder backpedals a couple steps. He's under it, makes the catch, and that's the end of the 6th for Shrewsbury. They get 1 run on 2 hits. RBI single by Matt Matero, and the score at the end of 5.5. Shrewsbury 4, Vermont nothing. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th right after this. Alrighty, we're back here, bottom of the 6th. Time running out on the Vermont team. They're trailing 4-0 to the host Shrewsbury. And leadoff batter in the bottom of the 6th, Corey Gianelli, the first baseman, 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out. First 2 pitches outside for 2 balls, no strikes. John wants to throw strikes, make him hit the ball. There's ball 3 high, 3-0. So probably over 90 pitches at this point. There's a timeout called by somebody. I don't know who. Must have been the batter. All right, 3-0 on the batter. Here's a windup in the pitch. A little bit high and outside, ball 4. So once again, the leadoff batter gets on. Via the walk, that's John's 5th walk today. He also has 5 strikeouts. 5th batter now is the pitcher, George Goldsworthy. Walked and has a base hit. One of the 3 base hits for Vermont. Here's the pitch, and it's low in the dirt. Nick Martin, nice job blocking it and keeping the runner at first. 1-0. 5 straight balls thrown by John Westier to start the bottom of the 6th. I know the coach wants him to throw strikes. It's an easy thing to say, but not always an easy thing to do. There's a high fly ball to right. Matt Sullivan drifting back towards center. Under it, makes the catch for the first out. I don't know about that strategy. Vermont down 4-0. I think the coach would have had him taking a strike at that point. He'd thrown 5 in a row, 5 balls in a row. You need base runners trying to get back in the game. You swing in a 1-0 pitch and fly out. Anyway, next batter steps in, Maverick King. Threw a walk in the 2nd inning and struck out looking in the 4th. Here's the pitch, high fly ball. Center fielder Tyler Hopping comes in a few steps, camps under it, makes the catch for the 2nd out. So quickly after the 4 balls in a row to the first batter. John settles down and gets the next 2 quickly. 2 outs, man on first. Right fielder Nicholas Fitzgerald steps in. Base hit off of John West's leg in the second and flew out to center in the fourth. John's done a nice job here today. No runs. There's a pop-up. It's going to be John West calling for it. He also plays first base, so he makes the catch. And quickly, 1-2-3 after the leadoff walk. And at the end of the 6 innings, the score, Shrewsbury 4, Vermont nothing. TV 328 sports team, Mark Serra on camera, Bob Bigdan, everything else. We'll be back after this. Alrighty, we're back, top of the 7th inning. Shrewsbury on top, 4-0. Goldsworthy still on the mound for Vermont. Louis DeVolio leading it off here for Shrewsbury. There's a slow curveball called strike 1-1 to Louis. He's sacrificed fly. Played it a run in the first, lined out to first, and flew out to center. Here's a ball in the dirt. Ball 2-1. Slow curveball a little bit high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Foul ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Left fielder Louis DeVolio. There's a pitch way outside. Goldsworthy looked like he lost the handle on that one, so DeVolio with a leadoff walk here in the 7th. Brings up first baseman Dylan Zona, having a nice day for himself. A double in the first, walked in the 3rd, and had an RBI single in the 5th. I'm sorry, almost an RBI single in the 5th. Threw Martin out at the plate. A foul ball off to the right into the stands. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, ripped into left field. The 3rd hit for Dylan Zona. 1st and 2nd now. Dylan with a double and 2 singles and a walk. Vermont's yet to figure him out. 3 for 3. Tom Q steps in. He flew out twice and grounded out. I would expect probably to see a bunt here. Even though it's 4-0, probably like to get a couple more if they could. Get a little bit more of a cushion. Here's a stretch. He squares. He puts the bunt down, trickling foul down the 3rd base line. So no balls and 1 strike to Tom Q. On deck is Chris Wright, who has 2 hits today, and followed by Tyler Hopping, who has 1 hit. Also got on an error. So Tom Q steps in, probably going to be bunting again. He squares, and he misses it. No balls, 2 strikes. Won't make Coach Vaccaro very happy. He wanted to get that bunt down, but Tom Q still has a strike left. See what he can do. High and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's the pitch, and it's in the dirt. Scooped nicely by the catcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men on. Top of the 7th. Shrewsbury on top, 4-0 here in this Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball playoff game. There's a pitch hit on the ground towards second. Second baseman has it. Has to go to first. Good job by Tom Q advancing the runners. Hit behind the lead runner, and second baseman had a drift toward first, had no play to go to second, so good job by Tom. Did exactly what he had to do if he had gotten the bunt down, so. Yeah, good job, Tom. Okay, 1 out now, 2nd and 3rd. Chris Wright up, 2 hits today. base hit in the second, scored a run, and base hit in the sixth and scored a run. And sandwiched between the two hits was a ground out to the pitcher. There's the pitch, and he waves at it, miss. 1-1. Vermont infield playing in all around. They can't afford to give up any runs. Uh-oh. There's going to be a time called. The fly ball would have played it a run, but time had been called. The ball got loose out of the Vermont dugout, rolled into the infield grass. The first base umpire called timeout. The pitcher went ahead with the pitch. Chris Wright hit a deep fly ball left, which would have played it a run, but
Yeah, it wasn't a home run.
time had been called. So now still 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the windup in the pitch. Slow curve, hit in the hole into left field. That's going to plate 1. Dylan Zona had a hold up to see if it got through. Chris Wright with his 3rd hit of the game, an RBI single. Makes it 5-0 Shrewsbury. 3 hits for Chris Wright, nice job. 3 hits for Dylan Zona. 2 hits and a walk for Nick Martin, the offensive stars for Shrewsbury today. Tyler Hopping steps in, 1 for 3. One out. 11th hit for Shrewsbury. Oh, there's a shot to left. It's right in his tracks, though. Oh, no, it goes over his head. Left fielder misjudged that one. It goes over his head. Dylan Zona trots in. Tyler Hopping Chris Wright comes all the way around to 3rd, and Tyler walks in the 2nd with a stand-up double. The 12th Shrewsbury hit. Breaking the game open, 6-0. Yeah, he saw it confused me. This left fielder just stood there, thought he had it in his tracks, and went over his head by about 10 feet all the way to the wall. Dylan Zona scored easily, and Tyler ends up on 2nd, Chris Wright on 3rd, and with 1 out, they're going to make a pitching change for Vermont, so we'll take a break too. Shrewsbury on top now, 6-0 in the top of the 7th. We'll be back. Alrighty, we're back here and still in the top of the 7th. Pitching change for Vermont. Nicholas DeLello comes on with 1 out in the bases, 2nd and 3rd. There's the pitch, a little looper in the right. The right fielder playing way over to center, and he dives. He can't get it off his glove. That's going to score 1 run anyway. That'll be it, 1 run. I don't know if they give him a double, I guess. RBI double for Matt Matero. That's his 2nd hit of the day. 2 RBIs the last 2 innings. He makes it to 2nd, and Tyler Hopping had to wait to see if it was caught. Only gets to 3rd base. Brings up the top of the order, Tyler Mudd, the DH. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run. He hits a looper down the left field line. That's a long run. That's going to drop. That's going to mean at least 1 more run. Oh, safe. Tyler Hopping, or Matt Matero, sneaks into 3rd base, gets around the tag, and on the throw to 3rd, Tyler Mudd gets all the way to 2nd. So that's an RBI single for Tyler Mudd. 3rd run of the inning, 4th run of the inning. Now 8-0. 4 hits in a row for the Shrewsbury team. All RBI hits. Nick Martin steps in, having a nice day. 2 for 3 with a walk, RBI, and a double. Shrewsbury, a lot of offense today. There's a shot down the 3rd baseline. Almost got Matt Matero in the foot. Strike 1. 8 runs on 14 hits, 1 Shrewsbury error, and Vermont with no runs on 3 hits. They've made 2 errors. Here's a pitch to Nick Martin. High and outside, 1-1. Here's the next pitch, shot into right field. Just went with it nicely. base it into right. 1 run scores, throw to home. Martin hustles down to third and down to second. As he hustles to second, Tyler Mudd comes across. So it's an RBI single for Nick Martin, and Tyler Mudd also scores when Martin advanced to second on a throw home. Tyler Mudd scooted across and makes it 10-0. 6 runs in this inning, 5 hits in a row, 6 in all in this half inning for Shrewsbury. Matt Sullivan steps in, one for 3 today with an RBI triple. Takes strike 1, also hit by a pitch. There's a shot to right fielder in his tracks there, makes the catch. Martin holds at second. Good arm by the right fielder all the way on a fly to third. Martin holds. Louis DeVolio steps in. He led off the 7th inning with a walk and scored. Come batter around for Shrewsbury. He's the 10th batter of the inning. Now 2 outs. High and outside, 1-0. There's a pitch looped in the right center field. That's a base hit. Martin comes around third. He's going to score. Cut off, or almost cut off, by the pitcher. No advance by DeVolio. So he has an RBI single in the inning. Makes it 11-0, and the 16th base hit by Shrewsbury. Dylan Zona comes up for the 2nd time in the inning. He got a base hit, scored a run early in the inning. It's 3 for 3 with a walk and a double. There's the pitch, high and outside, 1-0. Next pitch is called strike 1, 1-1, outside corner. Sticking to the program here. It's getting humid again. And high and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Looks like Shrewsbury going to advance on. They're going to face the loser of the Braintree-Portland Maine game, which is going to be played tonight. Strike called 2-2, so they'll play the loser of that game tomorrow at 1, weather permitting. Looks like there's going to be rain in the forecast for most of the day, but it looks like showers, so it may be on and off. There's the pitch. There's a hard shot in the hole. It's short, off the shortstop's glove into left field for a base hit. Doesn't even reach the left fielder. Dylan in with a stand-up double. 4 for 4 for Dylan Zona with 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a run scored. Tom Q comes up for the 2nd time in the inning. He grounded out to second first time, but moved the runners into scoring position. Essex Vermont coach is coming out of the dugout, walking very slowly out to short, see if his shortstop is okay. I think it hit the lip of the infield grass, or the outfield grass, kind of hit off his glove and off the side of his face. And it just trickled off toward the left field foul line. It was a long run for the left fielder to get there and the third baseman to get there. And Dylan ended up getting to second base. Looks like this shortstop's going to come out. That's Grady Cram. Number 14 going in to replace him. That will be, if I can find it, that will be Jacob Vance. Takes over at short. Pickup Vance. Okay, they're ready to go. Now the 12th batter of the inning for Shrewsbury. Tom Q steps in. He's got second and third with 2 outs. A little bit outside, ball 1-0. Now 11-0 Shrewsbury on 17 hits. There's a little dribbler back to the mound. Pitcher gets it, throws to first, and that'll end the inning finally for Vermont. But Shrewsbury comes up with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits in the inning. Take a commanding lead, 11-0 as they head to the bottom of the last inning. Vermont's last chance. This is Bob Bigda, Mark Serra on camera. TV 328 Sports Team will be back with the last half inning after this. Alrighty, here we are. Blast of the 7th. Last inning, last chance for Vermont on the short end of 11-0 score. Pinch hitter for Schmatz is Logan Tourville, number 20, his first at-bat of the game. On the mound for the Shrewsbury is Nick David. John West pitched 6 innings, great 6 innings. No runs, gave up 3 hits, struck out 5. Nice outing by John. There's a pitch by David, also called strike 0-2 to the batter. Nick David, a lefty. There's the 0-2 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Nick David makes quick work of Logan Tourville, the pinch hitter. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out. Brings up the 9th batter, Tyler Roberge, the center fielder. Struck out in the 2nd and walked in the 5th. So I think it's safe to say Shrewsbury will be advancing on. Be playing the loser of the Portland, Maine, Braintree, Mass game tomorrow at 1, again, weather permitting. There's another strike by David. Strike called, 0-2. Balls, 2 strikes. That's 5 strikes in a row thrown by Nick David since coming in. Ah, I had to say that, right? There we go. Stupid me. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the pitch, and look close. Just a little bit high, maybe. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 9th batter for Essex, Vermont. They'll be packing their bags after the game and heading back to Essex, Vermont. There's a high fly ball to the left. Racing back, and making the catch, a great catch. Over the shoulder catch in left by Louis DeVolio. That was a great play. Hit deep to the left center. Louis DeVolio took off, raced back and made a running over the shoulder catch for the 2nd out in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up the leadoff batter, number 13, the catcher, Ryder Thornton. He's walked, fly to right, and grounded out. Here's a pitch, just inside, ball 1-0. Okay, Vermont down to the last batter. High outside, 2 balls and no strikes. There's a ground ball to short, slowly hit. Tom Q up with it, fires to first in time, and the ball game is over. 1-2-3 inning for Nick David when he comes in. Nice play by Louis DeVolio on left, and Shrewsbury Comes out on top, 11-0, 11 runs on 17 hits, 1 Shrewsbury error, no runs on 3 hits and 2 Essex Vermonts are the stars of the game. We got to go with Nick Martin, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, a double. Dylan Zona, 4 for 4 with a walk, 2 doubles. Chris Wright, 3 for 4, 2 runs, 3 runs scored, an RBI. Matt Matero with nice defensive play, also had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. So good offensive performance, a nice solid outing by John West. And the Shrewsbury team will be moving on to play tomorrow against the loser of Portland, Maine, Braintree, Mass game. And again, weather permitting, will be at 1 o'clock. And we'll try to bring you that game. Shrewsbury got a long road here. They got to win tomorrow. They'll have to win at least 1 game on Sunday and possibly 2. So it's still a long road to go, but Shrewsbury hanging on after losing the first. They come back to win the next 2. Congratulations to the Shrewsbury team, Coach Vaccaro. Good job, good solid game today. We'll be signing off now. Mark, Sarah on camera, Bob Bigda, play-by-play and everything else. And this is your TV 328 sports team signing off, and we'll see you next game.